Hello YouTube. We bought this brand new Generac generator model GP9200E that can deliver up to peak power of 11 kilowatt. And it only comes with a 220 volt 30 amp service outlet here and another 210 volt 20 amp outlets. So that makes it total 50. There is no 50 amp outlet on this thing. And the reason we bought this was to hook it up to a whole house generator with a transfer switch. So we're gonna fix this. On Generac's website, they have a detailed electrical diagram. This one has a summary diagram that doesn't show the actual thing. But if you look at their online diagram, you'll see that the generator has 3 lugs coming out. Black, red, and a white and ground. And this lugs can deliver up to 50 amps. So what we're gonna do is modify. So we took off the generator cover and we drilled a 3/4 inch hole towards the bottom. As you can see from looking from outside, it's on bottom right side, just a tiny bit. And the reason we did that was to run the wire downwards from there so water doesn't get into the hole that we just drilled. We use this kind of a plastic cable connector. This is NM connector, a 1/2 inch. But what we did is we knocked down the inside, what do you call it? Little thing that holds the wire, if you can see on this one. There are a couple of yes, right there. See right in the middle part, there are 2 little plastic tabs sticking out. We cut those off so wire can fit through. And we use another, we're using the 50 amp outlet just like this one. This is what they call a flush mount range outlet. You can buy it from the Lowe's. It's item number that on Lowe's.com or website or their store. And the reason we picked this outlet was it has an outlet coming out the bottom as well as back. We can't use the back one, so we're gonna did the same thing. We use the NEMA 3/4. In this case, we use this part right here, the 3/4 inch plastic NM connector. Again, we knocked down the tab and made a throw connection. And then finally, we are using a 6 gauge cable to get it, this end is gonna, and we use a couple of or 3 of these lug connectors. You can buy them from Amazon, and there's a part number for those. It's a 6 AWG number 10 lug connector or battery lug connector, something like that. And we're gonna need some sort of crimping tool like this to crimp these on. And then lastly, we're just gonna connect this thing up into this this outlet. So you can kind of follow along as I put it all together. We kind of did the hard work up front. We measured the wire, stripped it off, put these connectors on, drilled the hole, cleaned it, put this plastic NEMA connector and all that. So now it's just a matter of hooking it all up. Okay, so we kind of fished this wire through this hole in this cover, and if you kind of follow that, this is where we made those connections. So that's hot, too hot for 115 each or 110 each, and then a neutral and a ground. By the way, when you're working with electrical, I mean, I have to put the standard disclaimer. I am electrical engineer, but I'm not practicing or licensed. So I cannot advise you any electrical connection. If you're in doubt, consult a licensed electrician to make the connections. But you can make the parts and then have somebody hook it up to the generator. And that's the other end of the generator. A neutral and the ground. A neutral and ground are bonded together on this side. That's gonna be attached to the generator. So these are 2 hot leads, and that's a neutral and ground bonded. That's how the the original generator electrical diagram shows all the connections. Now, last step, how are we gonna mount this? So the reason we picked this outlet was that it has like a couple of holes right there in the top and a couple at the bottom. So our plan is to zip tie them or use a wire tie or something to connect, to hook it up to the body of the generator. There's a one of the leg is near the generator body, so we're gonna do that. So here are the connections at the generator. So this is the generator we were kind of talking about. Just show you. No, it's a Power Rush Generac GP9200E, and on this, right next to the exhaust, you have this generator cover, a couple of I think they're 8 millimeters that you have to undo, and this whole cover comes off. So there you can see all the color, the wires are color coded. This is red coming from the generator. This is the black, another hot lead coming off the generator, and these two are the whites coming off, neutrals coming off the generator. And then this is the wiring harness that goes to the existing control panel, and that's where you would see the black is connected to black, the red goes to red, and the white and the green, the neutral and the ground goes on the ground. So ground and neutral we bonded on our harness. Red goes to red and our black goes to black, and we kind of routed. And when we cut this wire, I kind of came here and measured the exact distance and did the layout so all the wire kind of stay away from the other existing harness and kind of comes down on the bottom. So that's just some detail you want to keep in mind. And then finally, we're just gonna put the cover back together and tie this outlet right here on the pole right next to the generator on the exhaust side. So we'll have it will be nice protector on the side here. We finally put together everything. Here is we use a couple of zip tie, one on the bottom end here and the one on the top end. The top end one has to kind of go under the connector, so not really a big fan of that, but that's gotta do what we gotta do. So yeah, now we're just gonna put the cover back, and there we have our 50 amp outlet from the generator. Now this one is not breaker protected, and the reason we don't have it breaker protected is because in my main panel, so this is the hookup coming from the main panel that has a NEMA 50 connector here, and inside the breaker we have a transfer switch. So this is the main coming from the power company, and then this is our generator 50 amp breaker. So anytime I want to use generator, I just flip this main breaker off, slide this transfer switch over, or this little protector onto the left, and then we turn on this. So this breaker is already part of the circuit, and that's the reason we decided not to put a breaker on our generator. Is there really no need for the generator breaker? But if you are hooking up to a house, whole house, and you don't have breaker, that's not good. You want to have a breaker. This generator is rated at 11 kilowatt, 60 some 2 odd amp max. So if you go over 50 consistently, you're gonna burn up the generator, or the generator coil itself. So just make sure you have breaker in between. But yeah, that's all it took. We spent about, I don't know, $40 on parts, and now we have a nice 50 amp coming out of this generator. That should power up our whole house in case power goes out, and we lose power a lot here out in the country. So thanks for watching. If you have any question, please put it in the comment, but I hope you can wire one up for yourself. Thanks.